Hi, this is Garden Matryoshka again, and today is a nice, breezy, cooler day. Finally, the temperature has been in the 90s lately, and today is the first nice day we've had in a long time. So I wanted to take this opportunity and talk a little bit about what went wrong with this planting bed that everybody's been giving me such great advice and helping. But this video is more for those of you who want to get into square foot gardening or into gardening in general, and give you an opportunity to learn from my mistakes. So we have two 4x4 planting beds, raised beds, because our soil is basically all clay and does not provide very good drainage if we were to plant in it, and it would have to be enriched quite a bit before we could grow anything at all. So we went the raised bed route, and I've heard about the square foot garden system, and I should have done a lot more research before actually setting it up. So we have, this is the first planting bed we put in, and this is the second one, and the difference is quite striking. You can see this one is a lot greener, it has lush growth, whereas this one has had all kinds of problems, and some of them could have been avoided. And I want to talk about what I think went wrong with this bed in the first place. I will be honest, I did not buy Mel Bartholomew's book on square foot gardening, and I would recommend that anybody who is about to use this method or thinking about it for next year, get the book. You don't have to buy it, go get it at the library, but do read it, because I didn't, and I just sort of relied on people who summarized it in various YouTube videos or online resources, and I'm paying the price. I'm not going to call anybody out, but one of the gardening experts out there recommended putting a layer of mulch on the bottom of your square foot bed. And we did that, and it's supposed to improve the drainage in your soil. And then I found out that when you put mulch in with your soil, it might actually rob it of nutrients before it begins to decay and enrich your soil. So it has the opposite effect. Now, if you do it maybe the winter or the fall before the spring when you're planning to plant your garden, that might work better. I don't know. In my experience, very limited experience, I think mulch on the bottom of the square foot bed is robbing it of nitrogen, which is why my bean plants have had all kinds of problems this growing season. And beans are these wonderful plants that will grab nitrogen from the atmosphere and fix it to the soil. That's why planting beans with your other plants is so helpful, or rotating crops and planting beans is supposed to enrich your soil. In my case, beans are doing very poorly. And here is a really funny comparison. Here's a lima bean, a bush lima bean. This is my hand. So, I know one of the garden experts on YouTube, Praxis, I'm subscribed to his channel. You can see it in my subscription. If you don't know him, he has a wonderful channel. He did a video on the smallest bean plant. I don't know, this might be rivaling it as the even smaller bean plant. So this is a lima bean. The exact same seeds were planted over in this bed. And take a look at that. What a difference. They're huge. They're not even supposed to be climbing up They're not pole beans, so they're not supposed to be doing this, but they are. And they're producing, and they're blooming, and they're greener, and just much healthier plants than the other bed has. Of course, another problem might be the location of this bed, this planting bed. And the lesson to take from this is before you plan your garden, and it might go without saying, but go out to your plot of land several times a day, different months of the year, and look what the sun is doing. Because you might think it's a sunny spot, but then a couple hours later, shadow comes over, and the plants need at least, most vegetable plants need at least 6 hours of sunlight, and none of mine in this planting bed are getting that. Good to know. Another thing I would do different is, again, I followed the directions that some of the people were giving, and I used, my husband built these boxes to my specification, and we just used 6-inch wide boards, and it appears to be just a little too shallow for most of these plants. That would be my guess. I'm no expert, but I think next time I would go with at least 8-inch boards. And the third thing I would do different is the soil. Again, read, if you're going to use this method, read Mel Bartholomew's book, and he recommends a blend, a very specific blend of 3 elements of soil, and do that instead of what we did, which is just bags of soil. And we've been adding compost to it ever since, but I think we would have had much better results had we followed his method to begin with. Other than that, it's been continuing to be a great learning experience, and things are doing pretty well considering. I've already shown you in my latest update what's going on. I don't think I showed Mr. Stripey. Mr. Stripey is really taking off over here, and has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tomatoes growing. Can't wait to try them. It's an heirloom variety of tomato, probably one of the more common ones, since I just found the plant at our local nursery. Did not grow this one from seed, and because it's probably not getting as much sun as it needs, it's just taken off to the sky. And my husband was nice enough to nail in this this branch here yesterday just to give it some extra support, because the Dallas tomato cage that I had did not provide enough support, and now it's about to outgrow even this little hole. And the cucumber is doing well. I'm really amazed how quickly it's growing, because I just showed it to you guys the other day and it wasn't anywhere near that big. I'm thinking about doing a harvest this afternoon. We'll see if that's what I do. I might or might not do a video on it, because I don't want to bore everybody with same old harvest. It's basically going to be some eggplants and maybe chili peppers.